Lessons from Afghanistan: The Imperative for a United Spirit Against Insurgency by Pelumi Olajengbesi Esquire. For sub-Saharan Africa, particularly Nigeria, which now finds itself buffeted by an unending war against insurgents in the northeast and religiously motivated cells of militias and bandits in the northwest and central, there could be explosive consequences as local jihadists could very well find a motivation for their actions and be spurred onto even deadlier actions in the pursuit of a shared objectives with the Afghan Mujahideens. Much has been and will continue to be written about the Taliban's takeover of the military and political power in what is now called the Islamic Emirates of Afghanistan. It is an emerging story that has left the world aghast at its sheer incredulity and implications for Afghans, its neighbors, and the whole world. For sub-Saharan Africa, particularly Nigeria, which finds itself buffeted by an unending war against insurgents in the northeast and religiously motivated cells of militias and bandits in the northwest and central, there could be explosive consequences as local jihadists could very well find motivation for their actions and be spurred onto even deadlier actions in the pursuit of shared objectives with the Afghan Mujahideens. There are serious concerns here. Religious fanaticism and extremism have been fingered as the culprit behind the Boko Haram insurgents and general abhorrence of Western-style education, even amongst a northern populace which neither affinity or sympathy for insurgency. Misguided romanticism for fanatically conservative ethos in northern Nigeria could very well be fertile ground for even more extremist strains to be sown and spread. If it happens, we'll use the north to the seduction of extremism as represented by spectrums as the Islamic State of West Africa, aka Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda, and the Taliban. We would all be sorry. What's more, with increased ethno-religiously motivated killings in Jos, Kaduna, and Benue State, Kano Hisbah's non-plus banning of mannequins and contemplation of banning female drivers. Audacity. Boko Haram's imposition of its own governor in Borno State, hoisting its flag in Shiroro, Niger State, so dangerously close to the nation's capital, Abuja, and guerrilla campaign of headsmen and bandits whose murderous assaults on innocent civilians remain unchecked. One fears that the Taliban ideology has pervaded and permeated the fringes of the northern Nigeria than is sufficiently admitted or talked about. We must be wary! 1000%. The lesson for Nigeria from Afghanistan is therefore specific. No one will fight for our continuous independence outside of ourselves. This is our war, and we cannot afford to lose. We must embrace our pluralism and work harder to achieve an integrated society amenable to constructive change and development. Taliban and Boko Haram represent the very opposite of progressive, as seen in the objectification and relegation of women, abhorrence for science and innovation, and rather violent disposition against the right to thought, religion, and assembly. Even Afghans know! The videos and pictures out of Afghanistan reveal so much desperation. There's an uneven scramble for available conveyance out of Afghanistan by diplomats and indigents alike. In one particular video, 2 young men are seen hanging onto the recoiling wheels of a plane that takes off into the air. They are seen to lose their grip and fall to their deaths with their blood-spattered bodies on the sidewalk of a befitting, if not sober, canvas of the despondency in Afghanistan today. I recollect that when Libya fell, the proliferation of arms and jihadists found their way into Nigeria to join the so-called Holy War and stunted the imperative of hitherto progressively successful war against Boko Haram. With Afghanistan's fall to the Taliban, we must be even warier. They will help to embolden local terrorists, and casualties will be the nation's sovereignty and the freedom of you and I. Indeed, if we let our country be consumed, we may never find a way back to nationhood. We are warned. Wow, this is really well written, and I mean, just a fantastic piece. Yeah, what else can you actually say? What else can I actually say? And with the way that we're divided, like, it's so unnecessary, because even if we wanted to be as one country, one Nigeria, or we wanted to disintegrate, we are going to have to unite anyways. Like, uniting is literally like inevitable at this point if you actually want to achieve anything, because if we're not united, then there's no point. Might as well just let everything happen. But I think the statement here says, indeed, if we let our country be consumed, we may never find our way back to nationhood. We are warned. Nigeria is operating on vibes. Nigeria is operating on the grace of God at this point, because I don't even know how nothing has broken out yet, because it is very much scary, and we're all going about our daily lives as we should, but we also need and must remember that we have to be wary. And it's just like the religious undertones, not undertones, well, everything is just very obvious at this point. Before, there were religious undertones under the the context of Western education. Now it's in your face. You know what they stand for. We're gonna have to be united. People are gonna have to die, unfortunately. Very, very sad. It will take time, but I think if we are wary, because a lot of people, even in other types of news, are always pushing, oh, Nigeria will soon be like Afghanistan, Nigeria will soon be like Afghanistan. I'm like, you're saying these things, but shouldn't you say this out of fear that would cause productivity, fear that would actually cause a reaction where we are looking for solutions? Because I guess that fear needs to grip us, not to a point where we become dormant and still, but where we become motivated to do everything in our will to change that outcome. That should be it. Literally, that's the only thing. I tell you something, if we youth of Biafra and Oduduwa, including the Middle Belt, do not rise up now in the spirit of oneness before it's too late to fight with these heartless bloodsuckers with satanic religion from our lands, then the worst of what has happened in Afghanistan is already here in Nigeria. I really don't know why Africans do not learn lessons. It's not, I mean, this, I totally agree with this 1000%. It's like, what else do you need? It's right in your face and you're choosing to ignore the signs. You know what I mean? We cannot be dormant. And yes, we say people are dormant, but then what frequency are you operating on? Like, you have to be highly alert. You can't just take things as they are. You have to see more than what is given to you. Shine your eye. That's it. Put what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe.